Hey guys, my name is Matt. I am a second year resident over here at the University of Chicago. I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about the program today. Second year is definitely your busier year here at the University of Chicago. We take primary call, so we will be responsible about 2 to 3 times a week for seeing all the consults for the day and overnight. On top of that, you usually have some kind of clinical responsibility either in the clinic seeing patients, one of the attendings, or in the OR. Most of the time our operative cases as a second year are primarily endoscopic, so a lot of stones, a lot of stent exchanges. You're pretty comfortable doing TURPs and PVPs, but that's usually how the day-to-day shakes out. Being on consults has been a pretty good experience for me. I feel very comfortable with almost any urologic pathology that comes my way. And you know, I would say our seniors do a very good job of supporting us as consult residents. You always have a senior on backup 24/7, so whether that's in the middle of the day and you need someone to help you see a potentially operative consult, or that's 3 in the morning and you're having a hard time getting a catheter in someone. It's been a really learning experience for me, and it's been a nice step up from being an intern, that's for sure. I would describe the culture of the program as being definitely a fun, positive, kind of, I don't know if lighthearted is the right word, kind of jovial place, for lack of a better word. The residents all get along extremely well with one another. We're always giving each other a hard time and joking around with each other. You know, the morning starts off on rounds at anywhere between 6 and 6:30, and we're always giving each other crap from the night before, the day before. We like to play around with each other. But there's also a spirit of definite camaraderie, where everyone's constantly got each other's backs, whether that is someone staying a little bit later after their clinical responsibilities to help you out with a consult, or someone jumping in a case just to give a second set of hands. I would say we have an excellent relationship amongst the residents. And I think that extends to the attendings as well. The attendings are available night and day. If you ever need help, if you ever have a question, if you're ever uncertain of yourself, they're definitely there to lend a helping hand. It's very educational. We do a good job of focusing on lectures on a weekly basis, learning in a non-formal setting where something weird might pop up. One of the seniors will kind of test your knowledge and see how much you know about a particular subject. And it's not like they're pimping you to give you a hard time, but it's more so because it's something that's clinically relevant, something that you're going to see again. And they do a good job of teaching and making sure that you have a good grasp of what's going on, not just kind of giving you an answer without an explanation. So yeah, my favorite part about living in Chicago, I love Chicago. It's my favorite city of all time. I'm a little biased in that I was born and raised in the suburbs. I'm from Downers Grove, which for you guys that aren't from around here, it's about, depending on the traffic, about 30 minutes west of the city. I've traveled and seen a lot of the country. I did an away rotation over at Penn. I went out to the West Coast for a while and did an away in Portland. I spent some time in Ohio. I went to school at Iowa, if you can't tell. So, I've been to a lot of cities. I've spent time in a lot of cities, and I will have to say Chicago is definitely one of my favorites. Summertime's the best. It goes without saying. Winters here can be pretty brutal. But there's always something going on, even in the middle of winter. Chicagoans do a good job making sure they get outside and go have a good time. The sports are great. The city's super fun to explore. Every area kind of has its own culture and its own atmosphere. The restaurants are probably some of the best in the country. The bar scene's super fun. There's always a million things going on in terms of festivals and events. We have Lollapalooza here every year. There is block parties every summer in every different part of town. It is a really, really fun place to live. And for someone in your young, late 20s, early 30s, it's hard to beat. On top of that, it's affordable. You can find really excellent housing across the city for an affordable price, which I think is something that's hard to find in other big cities in the country. Me and my girlfriend live in a pretty nice two bed that's 20 minutes from the hospital with a parking spot, and we pay a very affordable cost of living.
And what's your favorite procedure or surgery to do at this stage?
So at this stage in my training, my favorite procedure at this stage in my training, I love doing a good PCNL. It's always fun blasting stones, getting access, all that kind of stuff is really enjoyable. So. I think the biggest adjustment to starting residency is managing your time. I know everyone says in medical school that time management is key and blah blah blah. And while I think that's definitely true as a medical student, I think it's even more so true as a resident. You are incredibly busy. Not only are you going to be working, but on top of that, you also need to find time for studying. And while that doesn't necessarily mean you need to go home and read every night until you're blue in the face, you do have to kind of adjust your learning style and making sure that you find time to kind of keep up on your stuff. But it also goes twofold for your social life and kind of your mental and emotional well-being. So like finding time to go to the gym, finding time to go out to eat with your significant other, finding time to go catch up with friends. And it's not impossible by any means. I lead a pretty well-balanced life here at the University of Chicago. I still get to catch up with my buddies from college and from high school that still live in the area. So we have to go out to eat with my girlfriend, a couple times a week if I'm lucky, at least once. We'll go out to dinner and go get drinks or something. There's a gym that's literally 2 blocks from the hospital that costs like less than $10 a month. So if I ever am on call or if I'm ever here on the weekend, like there's no excuse not to go exercise. I'm literally down the street at a big college gym that's reasonably priced, that has good hours. So I think it takes a little bit of time to get used to residency. I think it definitely is an adjustment. But I think here at the University of Chicago, we do a good job of making sure that you still, while you get a great education, you get good operative experience, you work with excellent individuals, you still have time for yourself and for your life. And I think that's probably the biggest draw here about the University of Chicago. I've made great friends and I've definitely progressed in my clinical knowledge base, but I'm also still going to enjoy my life and spending my time in a great city with people that I really do enjoy being with. You guys should definitely go to the University of Chicago. It's an awesome place. We got great residents, great faculty, you get great clinical experience. You're going to be trained to be a fantastic surgeon. We got a good work-life balance. You'll have fun if you come here.